Hi everyone, I'm back with part 2 of my January faves, fails and updates. So today is the turn of eyeshadows or eye products and lipsticks and lip products, and that's it. But there's been a lot, which is why I split it over 2 days. So hopefully you've seen part 1, and if you haven't, I will link it at the end of this video so you can watch that if you missed it. And hopefully you'll enjoy this one too. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Hannah, I'm 49, and here on my channel I show you all the latest new releases, well, most of them, and I show you mostly luxury makeup with a little bit of affordable thrown in. And if you think you'd enjoy that content, I do upload here several times a week. I'd be over the moon if you subscribe to my channel, but if you're already subscribed, welcome back. Thank you so very much for being here. I truly appreciate you all. Anyway, let's dive straight into part 2. So the only difference in my appearance today, which is quite an obvious one, is my eyes. So I just thought I'd mention it in case you're wondering. I literally just filmed a shorts reel, which I haven't put out. It might not even come out in time for this video, I don't know, but it'll be out soon. And that is for the new Beauty Bay eyeshadow album, the new Beauty Bay eyeshadow palette. So this one is called Wonderscape. This has 20 colours and I think it's only about £18. I always get their limited edition eyeshadow palettes. This one is a gorgeous spring colour story. Look at this and look at all the shimmers. Just look at it. The quality is always fantastic. I've always found the mattes very good to work with. I've had no fallout with anything, mattes, shimmers, anything. This is my first look and I love it. I absolutely love it. So this is not a review for that because I literally just put it on my eyes today. This will be coming up in my end of month February video. So I'll put that away. But in case you're curious what's on my eyes, that's what's on my eyes. So let's now move straight into this review. The first one I'm starting with is this from Makeup Forever. This is their colour cream for, well, I think it says for the whole face, but let's face it, this is not something you're going to put on your cheeks or lips unless you're going to some sort of party and it has that vibe. But this is 07 Beetle Chrome, which applied with a brush was just okay. It did look pretty, but applied with a brush, it doesn't really have that much of an impressive finish. But if you scoop a bit out like I just did with my nail and then work it into the back of your hand and then apply it onto the eye, then it's something else. I'll show you. That's when it comes into its own. So when I did my demo, because it's really hard to get in, I want to just put my finger in the pot, but it's just way too small. So unless you have 0 nails and a tiny finger, you're not going to be able to do that. So my recommendation, use your long nail as a little scoop or use a spatula. Put it on the back of your hand or maybe a palette and then it works. And it's got quite good longevity. It does move a little bit in the crease. It doesn't last all day, but it's not bad at all. And I think this colour is gorgeous. Although I would have preferred to have seen a little bit more of the pink, because once it's on, it's more golden green than it is pink. You might see the pink there, but you see a lot of the pink in the actual pot. But you don't see so much of it on the eye. But anyway, it's still very different and very, very fun. But I've got a feeling I don't write prices down for these end of month reviews because, well, it's a very long-winded video. But I know that they're around the £30 mark, which is very expensive just for one single eyeshadow, and more expensive than something like the Pop Shots from Charlotte Tilbury, for instance. It's around the same price as the Victoria Beckham. But I'm a bit surprised that Makeup Forever have something the same price as Victoria Beckham. We sort of expect it from certain brands like Victoria Beckham because they're always high prices, but I thought Makeup Forever was a bit more affordable normally. So I do think it's a bit overpriced and I think you can get better elsewhere, I have to be honest. Anyway, let's move on. We have this wonderful eyeshadow palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, Haze, and we have been gifted yet another, and I say yet another because we are starting to get more, cool tone palette, and I loved this when I tried it, absolutely loved it. Very simple palette, but everything works beautifully. But we did get that lovely duochrome, so I'll just swatch a couple of the standout shades. We have that nice matte blue, and it's not overpowering either, which you might not like. It's not massively pigmented, this palette, which makes it so workable for me. If you're looking for big pigment, you're not going to get it with this. But we do have this shifty duochrome here, which at the time I compared with one of the Busy Art ones, and it's exactly the same. I'm not going to remember the name of the Busy Art palette now, but in my review of this palette I did actually get it out and show you, so if you want to know the name, please do look there. It'll probably come to me in a minute. It's the Attendu something. But anyway, I think this is excellent. I love the quality of Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadows, always have done. I always pretty much buy their releases unless it's a colour story that really doesn't work for me, and this one absolutely does. It's gorgeous. So if you love cool tones and you want a reliable 9 pan you can get lots of different looks out of, absolutely recommend picking that one up. Right, now we're moving to Chanel. So in part 1 I was very upset with the Chanel 4 pan, which was eyeshadow from the Rouge Noir collection, which was eyeshadow and blush. I didn't love it, but I love these. I've always loved these. These are the Ombre Essentielle, and this is number 2, let me get it right, 257 Gris Rose, this one. And the other one, there's just 2 added to the collection. This one, which is 267 Brun Rose. Now, this is quite warm and the other one's quite cool. This one has a bit more pigment, so you can use it, I think, as a one and done more easily than the other one, the Brun Rose. Whereas the Gris Rose, for me, it works more as a topper. I know some people do like to wear this as a one and done, and you can if you're looking for quite a light look. For me personally, I like a bit more as a one and done, so I would use that over something like one of the Lisa Eldridge liquid eyeshadow bases, which I might as well just move straight to next when I'm talking about wonderful products. But they go, these are just such a good pairing. I don't know if you remember in Hanmas, my husband actually did a really good job of pairing these and Dior single shadows with the Lisa Eldridge liquid silks, because they work so well and it locks it in for the day and they just complement each other, but it's such a quick and easy look. But yeah, I love those. I do, in my drawer to the right of me, have all of my Chanel single shadows, and they're just going straight in with those. It's not, if I hated a colour, if I've reviewed it and thought that's it, I'm not using it again, I would put it away. I've got a Chanel, well, I've got a few Chanel shelves, believe it or not, and it would be put away just for comparisons. But no, they're going there with all of the others, because so far I haven't bought a shade that I haven't loved. I do try to stick to buying shades that work for me though. But on this occasion they both did, so that was a nice addition to that collection. I did say I would talk about Lisa Eldridge next, so let me do that. We had 4 new shades from Lisa in the liquid silk, so I will need my magnifying glass. That's something that bugs me about these, is they are so hard to read, even with a magnifying glass sometimes. But I just wish we could find things easier to read. I'm getting fed up of struggling to read things, but these are gorgeous. These are really gorgeous. So the first one here, this one is Sylvia. So Sylvia is the sort of mushroom, brownie mushroom. I've done a review of these 4 shades. I've also done quite a few shorts reels trying these on. In fact, I don't know if it's out at the moment, but I've definitely filmed with this one recently to show. I actually did a comparison between this one and Ione. So the next one I'm showing you is Mimi. Now this is the lightest out of the 4 that were launched, and this for me is the best base shade that we had. Oh no, sorry, Sylvia is my favourite base shade. No, it's not. Just stop talking, Hannah. Mimi is deeper, sorry. We'll get to my favourite base shade in a minute. So this one is a more deep, more neutral brown. I'd say these are both quite neutral browns, but they work very well on cool tones as well. So what we didn't have in these before was options for cool tone apart from Ione. Now we really do, because we got this fabulous one, which is probably my favourite in terms of being unique, but not the one I'll be using regularly, and that one is Maud. I say I wouldn't use it regularly because the other ones are just regular base shades. This one is more of a look in itself. This with a real white shimmer is a good option. So this one's this lavender, grey lavender, cool tone Maud, which is gorgeous. And you just don't need much more with this one. This one will line and it will cover as a one and done. Don't do anything else. But for me, I would add a pop of a really brilliant white shimmer because it works really well with it. But the one that is my perfect base shade that I think I will get the most use out of and probably use a lot as a primer is Page. This one's Page, and Page is just perfection as a base. I mean, they're all good. Well, no, they're not all good bases. This one, Page, is just going to work with so many different looks for me as a base. but I would probably use these two as well. But this one is the most perfect because it's not going to take away from the colour of what I'm adding on if I want to see more of it. Whereas with these, I just need a bit less. Doesn't mean they're not going to work though. So we have 4 very good options that we can add to our collection, especially if you're cool toned. And if you haven't tried this formula before, it is well worth trying because they have such good longevity. They're still there by the end of the day. They don't budge. Like, I need to get off my hand fast because now as they're drying down, it's getting really difficult to get them off already. They don't move. They're very complimentary on mature skin if you haven't tried the formula. It's an excellent addition to the shade range by Lisa. So I'm really grateful that Lisa sort of listened to the feedback of us wanting more cool tone options. So thank you, Lisa. I love them. And they are all staying on my desk at the moment, but I think it will be that lightest shade that I showed you that stays in my pot for regular use. I'm just keeping them all on my desk at the moment because I would just want to keep using all of them. Right, next, Chantecaille. We had such a good release from Chantecaille, didn't we? Which I was able to get my hands on early, so I had plenty of time to play with these beautiful Flamingo trios. Look at the cases. For me, this is Chantecaille's prettiest case that I've personally ever bought. Absolutely gorgeous. Very expensive, but it's Chantecaille. You're paying for the packaging. You're paying for these incredibly gorgeous beige gelée formulas, which I can't even open. So we had Dusk and Dawn. Dawn, this is Dusk, of course it is. Dusk is the cooler of the two, Dawn is the warmer, but they're very similar. I wouldn't personally go for both. I know some of you did, because it's hard to resist them. But they are quite similar, which you'll see now in a minute if you haven't seen them, and if you haven't seen my reviews. I have put a shorts reel out trying both of these side by side, if that's helpful to you. And I've also done a full review, but this is Dusk. You can see very, very subtle colours. Obviously this one not so subtle, we are getting quite a bit of pigment. This one, the way I do this sort of look is basically this is sort of one and done everywhere, and then you could leave it if you wanted to. This one for a pop of brightness down the middle, and this one for adding depth and lining, and you're good to go. Also, this one here is very good for inner corner and under the brow. They're just gorgeous. They're so quick and easy, and you get such a lovely look. It's one of those looks, they last very well. They still look good by the end of the day. So here's Dawn, the warmer one. They have good longevity, like I said. They look beautiful all day, and they're just so easy. And you just feel like you've got a polished, pretty look straight away. And for me, it covers everything. You don't need to reach for a liner. I think they're really, really, really good. So this is Dawn, which there's Dawn. Can you see how this pink here is just that much warmer than the pink we get up here with Dusk? So it's just a warm and a cool option, which is ideal. I was having this conversation with someone this morning when my Byredo Vesuvia palette review went out, because that palette is right down the middle, warm one side, cool the other. And some people who are neutral might love that because it's nice to mix the two. I am one of those people who can do that, but for me personally, I prefer cool tones on me, and I would rather have a full cool tone. So I think it's really good that Chantecaille have given us these options so you can get one or the other, especially when they're very expensive. And if you're cool tone, you're happy, and if you're warm tone, you're happy, and if you're neutral, you could probably go with, I think you could probably go with both of these, but obviously the warm might be a better option. But yeah, 10 out of 10 Chantecaille, I love them. Next, Natasha Denona Mini Eye Sculpt Cool Eyeshadow Palette, which I'm pulling from over there because it has not left my side since the day I started this. In fact, I'm already putting a bit of a dent in this one because I've used it every day since it arrived. This is fabulous. Now, if you follow me, you know I love a fixer shade. You know I love a brightening powder for my inner corner and under the brow. I don't like to use shimmers for that, and that's exactly what I've got on my eyes today in the inner corner and under the brow, because I like the shimmers on the mobile lid, but not in those areas. And also this shade is a perfect fixer shade for fixing up afterwards. What I've also found is using these two together, I use very regularly to go into this area here. You know when you've got quite a bright colour that you've used in your outer V here, and sometimes it just looks a bit too harsh, you can see a harsh line. As long as the colours are slightly working together, dipping these two just lightly with a brush like the Sonia G. I would probably go with the Sonia G Crease 1 and then dip into both of these and just go into this area to soften the edge. So I use these an awful lot. This one, perfect liner shade if I want a good solid liner. This one is more of a soft liner. It just covers everything I could possibly need. If you use it on its own for a look in itself, gorgeous. And maybe just take one, I mean for me I could have this and a couple of nice toppers and I would be sorted for life. I really would. That's how good it is. So if you're cool toned and you haven't tried this, for me it is phenomenal. I think I need a backup already. That's my thinking. I'm going to keep using it, but I'm close to thinking buy a backup in case they sell out. Right, what's next? Dior. So we had the spring collection from Dior, and I got both of the eyeshadow quints that came with the spring collection. There was a new quint that came that was added to their permanent line, which I skipped because the colour story wasn't very me. But these ones both are very me. Now I can't open it. There we go. So this one is number 645 Mint Bubblegum. And then we had the pink one, which is Pink Lollipop, number 865. These are very pretty. I did really enjoy them, but I'm going to be honest with you, we had other releases this month that blew me away so much more, I sort of forgot about them. And I remember exactly the same thing happening last year with the spring launch. I always enjoy Dior, and I do love soft pastel colours. I think both of these colour stories are very pretty. This was the first spring launch, so it whet my appetite, and probably a lot of yours too, when you're just starting to think, I want to get out of winter mode and think about spring, and you want to wear these colours in your clothes and in your makeup. I think it was a perfect choice from Dior. They did well with the colour mixes. They're very, very pale, but that's what you expect. It's a spring collection. You're not going to get pigment for spring, and you're not going to get pigment really when it's Dior. You do sometimes, as we did last year with some of the new launches that came throughout the year. So I wouldn't presume, as I've said many times, don't presume with Dior you don't get it, because we do get those more creamy finishes that give more pigment, usually later in the year. We got some really good ones last year with the Canage release. But these are quite the dry formula. They're not creamy, they're the dry finish. It's very, very low in pigment. So, and I can just very quickly show you a couple of these shades from, say, the pink. I mean, they show up. They do show up. You can see they're very, very light. And the mint is my favourite. When I use this palette, if I just use the mint all over as a one and done on its own, I love it. I love the mint. And then just a liner. I could happily just use that colour. It probably seems mad when you see how light it is, but honestly it's gorgeous. I really like that. But I like the whole palette. I like the toppers. I think they're very, very pretty. They're just very nice. They're just not, they're not like memorable. Look how light they are. So I do think spring releases are very suited to my sort of skin tone, or very light skin tones, whereas the summer releases are more suited to the warmer skin tones. So I think that's got a lot to do with why people don't enjoy them or do, you know. But I don't know if I'll go back to them that much. They haven't sort of stuck in my mind like that gorgeous lilac one we had from them last year in the Miss Dior range, or the Canage range that launched. So good, but not the best. And then we had a really beautiful one from YSL, which was the YSL Valentine's Day Couture Mini Clutch Eyeshadow Palette. And this is number 126, Sparkling Lust. Probably one of the prettiest packaging I've seen from YSL, or that I've bought anyway. And this is a gorgeous combination of colours that looks incredibly boring when you look at it, and then you put it on your eyes and think, wow, this really is not very boring at all. Very, very creamy, but very much fallout toppers, which we do get with YSL. So there's two of those, so you do need to be very aware of that, but they're stunning. As long as you apply them carefully. I don't get fallout anyway. But this is very light, again, spring themed, or Valentine's, which is it's before the spring, isn't it, Valentine? So maybe they're thinking even lighter, but it's obviously the romantic colours, and you certainly get that with this. But very soft, A lot of people have been asking me, I've got a deeper skin tone, but I want it. Will it work on me? I don't know, because I don't have a deeper skin tone, but I do know people who have got deeper skin tones to me that have got it, and they do love it. So maybe it can work. I think it's really down to personal taste and whether you're happy with those lighter shades. But you can see my review of this. Oh, look at the mess that was made just doing that swatch. That's how messy those are. That's the one thing I think a lot of people don't like about them, but it wouldn't put me off using them. So beautiful. Kiko Flirt Alert. I don't even know if that's in my basket. I've got it. Is it or isn't it? Oh, it is. Okay. This is the double-ended Kiko eyeshadow, which I thought was stunning actually. This is quite clever because it's got this chunky liner. So you can use this just to line. I don't know what else you'd use it for when it's this dark, but the liner worked well, had reasonable longevity, not the longest I've ever used, but reasonable. And then the liquid on this end was very pretty, and it also dried down and didn't move in the crease at all and had a lot of impact. So I thought that was really, really nice. And it's quite functional having the two together. I loved it actually. I thought it was stunning, and I did think if that's something you'd enjoy, it's well worth going back for other colours because you're getting longevity and the colours work together beautifully. So a smash from Kiko again. Kiko do come out with some really good smash hits rather than a smash. They do come out with some really good products and beautiful collections, and that is one of the brands that I like to show you that's affordable, but still it's made in Italy, very good formulas, very good prices. Right, what's next? Tom Ford. We had the Burgundy Capsule, the Disco Dust eyeshadow, which has since been pointed out to me is a re-release in the most recent formula. Disco Dust. It's not new, but it was new to me because my journey with Tom Ford only began in the last sort of 18 months, and the obsession has become dangerously expensive because I love Tom Ford formulas, and this one was no exception. I loved it. I just always loved Tom Ford. I've got quite a lot of respect and admiration for Tom Ford generally because everything I try I love, which is unfortunate. It's like with Chantecaille. It's almost like you hate to love these brands, but I have to be honest, and I do really love them. I love they are very high quality. Now this one is not massively pigmented, but it does give you enough to get a very pretty look. And it is very pretty, especially this top shade here. Simple, but beautiful, and if you like the shades, look at this as a topper. Absolutely gorgeous, perfect liner shade here. If you like the shades, you can't go wrong. And I know some of you may have preferred the previous formula. I can't compare because I didn't have it. I just know that I love the Tom Ford formulas. From all the eyeshadows I test, I think Tom Ford is one of the absolute best. And if I wasn't doing what I do now, I would be buying Tom Ford. I would be more selective maybe with shades. I would probably only go for the ones that really blew my socks off and I thought I need that colour story because of the price. For review, I don't know if I would have got this one if it wasn't for review, because I don't know if it's a colour story that screams my name, if I'm being honest, but I still very much like it. So like if I was going to go look at all of these January releases, which ones would I have bought if I wasn't doing my job? I think I probably would have gone with the Dior Mint. I couldn't have resisted that, even though I've just said now it's not one of my favourites. And possibly the YSL, but I might have been 50-50 until I saw it tried on. Chantecaille, definitely the Dusk, 100% I would have gone for. But the one I would have gone for, if I could have only chosen one, it would easily have been this one. And that is the Guerlain. This is my favourite quad from Guerlain. So this is the Denim Blossom number 396, which comes with this gorgeous packaging. I love this whole collection from Guerlain. If you saw part one, you would have seen me showing the meteorites from this collection, this colour story, and this blue is just so special. I absolutely adore it, and I loved trying different looks with this. So when I did my review, I tried 2 different looks to sort of look at try the looks suggested on the website. And then I did go on to film a shorts reel where I made blue the centre of attention across the mobile lid more. So if you didn't see that, you will find that here on my channel. And I love all of them. But I think making blue the centre of Ascension is so worth it when you see it, because look, just look at that blue. I mean, it's called denim. I think it's like a cornflower blue denim. There's lots of variations of denim. In fact, my husband's car recently had a major issue when he was away working, so we've had to go out and rush buy a car. Even though I say rush buy, we did look into it a lot. But the car we were going for had 5 colours and they had a denim blue, and I was like, that's it, we have to. It's like this is like, it's a sign, we have to get it. And they had it in stock, so we are getting a denim blue car. So this is the year of denim blue. His car will last 4 or 5 years because we get the money's worth out of our cars. But yeah, we're getting a denim blue car. But what made me think of that is the denim blue in the car is more like a midnight blue. So there's so many variations of denim blue, I think. And this for me is cornflower. And I've not got a blue like this in my whole collection. Everyone was asking me to look. I did look for some when I did my review, and I couldn't find one that matches it. I think it's possibly the nicest blue I've ever seen. I really do. It's just, I love it. I love the cover. I need to stop talking, but yeah, there's one thing you get from the spring releases, in my opinion, make it that. Right, what's next? We have the MAC Metamorphosis Face and Eye Palette. I've got a bit of mixed views on this one. It's fun and the formulas are good. I like the packaging. You can see the sort of shift in the colours there. Can you? I have to catch it in the right light to see it. Oh, anyway, let's look at this. And the mess it's in, because these are creams. Certainly the lilac one is a cream, and it looks like I've used half of it already when I've used it twice, so I think the lilac will vanish in a flash. And then these colours were also warm apart from this, so this is another example of cool and warm together. So if you're cool tones, I don't think you're going to want to get this when you can only use these 3 colours, because these are just too warm. And they are very nice, they are. Let me swatch them. They are very nice. The formulas and the quality are excellent. Look at that. Excellent. But then it's just a little bit complicated. Trying to get your finger into that central shade, which is beautiful, but why is there less of it when it's so beautiful? So this is like a topper highlighter, which is a bit creamy as well. And then this lilac, which is the smallest of them all, which is definitely like a putty cream, which, you know, it's in such a mess already. But the cream, do you know what, it feels a little, see how it's mixed in with the colour? And I did use a different finger, but it's mixing in because it's just so hard, even using my little finger. And I do have very little fingers, but I can't get my finger into the swatch easily without picking up another shade. So whilst it's really good fun, it's not very practical. But it is beautiful, and I do like, and I really rate the fact that MAC are going for something a bit different. So it's a good idea, just maybe not the best, if I'm going to be totally honest. But it was fun, and I did like the look I created with it. Not so much on the face, because I don't think these colours suit me so much. They're a bit too warm, like I said, apart from these 3. So for me it's more of an eye palette than a face palette. But anyway, it's nice, just not my favourite. If you got it, please let me know what you think. So all I've got left now in my bowl here are lip products. Oh, wait a minute. There's one other thing to mention. The Fenty Fine Lines Precision Gel Eyeliners. I got Winko Pink, and I also got Big Truffle. Big Truffle is brown, basically. It's a standard gel liner. Very good longevity. Very good, actually, but plenty of time to play around with it. I won't show you that now because I'll have to dig around for it, but it's over there somewhere with my browns. I wanted to point this one out to you though, because I've worn this every single day since, and I've got it on today, so that's what's in my waterline. So I always like to use something for the waterline, and these shades, I think there's 4 shades for the waterline, and they're basically skin shade appropriate, and this one is mine, and it's perfect, absolutely perfect. It's called Winko Pink, and it stays there all day. I love it. I've used it every single day since, so another win for Fenty for me. And I think it's probably the best colour. My favourite ever used to be Victoria Beckham's, then it became Delilah. That's my current favourite. Right, so now we are moving into the lip products. So let's look at MAC, the Metamorphosis collection. I did pick up a few things from the MAC Metamorphosis. So we have this gloss, which is just okay. It wasn't maybe the most exciting. What was it called? The Lip Gloss Blow Plumping Oil, and this is in Snapdragon. It looks very, very pretty in the packaging, and it's got that sort of burny sensation that you get, but it doesn't show up in colour much. It just doesn't do an awful lot. It's just okay. It's got a nice fragrance. It's pretty if you're looking for a slightly plumping, slightly pigmented, very pretty bottle gloss. It's good. It's just, that's all it is. I'm going to keep it here on my desk because I like to rotate through lip products when I've got new ones. This I really like. This is the MAC eyeliner from this range in the shade Spice Tea. Very nice shade. And I love MAC liners. This will go into regular rotation. Very sort of user-friendly colour that goes with just about everything. So that is going straight into my regular pot there. And then I picked up this lipstick. Oh, I've managed to go right to the bottom of my list, which is really helpful doing that now. So this lipstick is the Maximal Matte lipstick, and I've got the shade Barefoot. So very, very gorgeously hydrating formulas from MAC. They're new mattes, they're very good, very complimentary to the lips, very good at hiding lines whilst giving you longevity and being hydrating. So you can't go wrong with MAC, you really can't. And these two together work very nicely, that liner there with Barefoot, and this is a nice sort of spring summer shade, so love that one. And then this I was very impressed with. This is the Glow Play Lip Balm Frolic. Frolic and Smile I've written down, but I think I only got one. Or am I wrong there? Did I get two? Oh, I've confused myself now. Did I get two? I've written down two shades. Let's see which one I've got in my hand anyway. I have got Smile. Okay, so Smile is the pink. Maybe I didn't get two, I don't know. But anyway, I love this actually. I really love it. Look how much colour you get for a sort of lip balm product. Plenty of colour, plenty of hydration. You can just slap this on without any mirror, but it gives you that pop of pink. I love them. But I did say at the time, it reminded me to go back and get last year's ones out. But the reason I couldn't find them when I did the review is because I threw them out, and that was because they dry out. And I do think that's a very common thing with these sorts of products. They were about a year old, so I just threw them because they were drying out. But if you're looking for something that's going to last you nearly a year, very hydrating, nice colour options, and reasonable longevity for that sort of product, and also a lot more affordable than some brands like Lisa Eldridge that has a very similar, is it the Balm Embrace, was it? The Balm, something like that. Very similar, but they're more affordable and just as good in my opinion. Right, what have I got next? Chanel Rouge Allure Velvet. Now I'm not a massive fan of Chanel lipsticks, again shoot me down. I know you love them, and I'm sorry if that offends you. Where are you, Chanel? I can't see you. Oh, I can only see Dior right now. That's strange. Oh no, I found it. No, I haven't found it. Oh, okay. Well, I did get a Chanel. I think the fact that I can't find it probably speaks volumes. Or is this it? Rouge Allure Velvet. I found it. I found it. Okay. Love the packaging, where you just click it and it pops out. I just don't love the formula of these particularly. This is the Luminous Matte, and this is the lip colour 357 Irreverent. Now I didn't go for the Rouge Noir shade because it would have looked horrendous on me. The shade is beautiful. It's not a bad lipstick, but it's just incredibly expensive. Again, I was having this conversation with my friend this morning, another friend, and if you're watching B, you'll know, about how, because B was telling me to get another product from Chanel, and my experience with Chanel is it's one of the most expensive brands to buy lip products from, and I don't think there's hardly any products from them lip-wise that become my favourites. So I don't, like they do with Dior. The only thing that's ever become a favourite for me is it the Balm Embrace? It's not, is it? It's the Rouge Cocoa Flash. I always forget the name. I'm thinking of the... Anyway, I'll stop confusing myself. But they're the only ones I've loved lip product wise from Chanel. But this is a lovely formula, reasonably hydrating. Just, I think Dior have got nicer ones. I like the shade. If you want to spend that much on a lipstick, it's not a bad one. That's all I'll say. Sorry Chanel lipstick fans, I'm sure you're all thoroughly irritated by me. Now Guerlain lipstick, I'm wearing one of these today. If you know me, you know I collect these cases from Guerlain if and only if I think they are beautiful, and I thought these were so beautiful. I actually got two, which is a little bit crazy, but honestly I think they are one of the best they've ever come out with for me. I love them. There are 3 shades actually. Normally there's only 1 case in a collection, but there were 3 this time. We got a red, which I didn't want, and then this pink and the denim, of course, the denim to match that eyeshadow. So the 2 shades I got was, the one I'm wearing now is, oh wait a minute, have I not written down the 2 shades? I haven't, have I? Guerlain lipstick, Le Rose Pivoine or something, and the other one is the Plum. Sorry, I don't have the shade right now, but anyway, these are the shades that go with the cases. That's what I got. So this is the one with the blue. If you go on the website, these are the recommended shades that come with the cases that are new. So this is the one I am not wearing. So this is the Rose. This is the most spring-like of the 2. But my favourite was actually the Plum. I think it was described as Plum, which goes with the pink case. Obviously you can mix and match. You don't have to stick with that. And that's the one I'm wearing today. I just noticed I've got a bit of, has that been there for the whole video? Well done me. You see that? Spent the whole video talking with a bit of a liner on my lip. Genius, Hannah. Anyway, isn't this shade fabulous? I've been drinking and chatting and doing my makeup and all sorts, and it hasn't budged, so it's got great longevity. But this colour is so pretty, it really is. Very, very pretty. My sort of colour, the more cool tone option, I do always lean towards. I love it. And these cases, just, they're always so fabulous. With the mirror, so you can do that on the go application, and then you close the mirror, pop your case in, and it keeps it all in place. They are just stunning, stunning. I'm not going to keep going on about or you should get them because they're very expensive, cases and refills, but if you want to spend money or you want to treat someone you love, they are really good, really, really good. And like I said, my favourite launch, that lipstick in particular that I'm wearing now, plus that eyeshadow from Guerlain, top, top, top. Right, Tom Ford, I love Tom Ford lipsticks. So with that Burgundy collection, we had this lipstick and we had this gloss. The gloss I've used so many times actually. It's quite a warm gloss, so when you've got a cool tone look, if you want to warm it up, it's a good option, which I've actually quite enjoyed doing, mixing cool and warm there, which I was saying I don't always like to do, but I do quite like doing that sometimes with this. It's very pigmented for a gloss, very grippy, very long lasting, plenty of shine, and the packaging is a knockout. It's ridiculously expensive though, but look at it. It really is special. Again, a special treat. With Tom Ford, you are going to spend a small fortune. And you could just go for something pretty from Kiko. You don't have to. So then we had this lip colour satin matte in Naked Rose, was the shade I picked up, number 52. So the gloss is £50 and the lipstick is £50, which is bonkers really, isn't it? But anyway, so there's Naked Rose. Quite a warm, almost orangey rose. So I would put both of these into summer category, not spring, but they're very nice, very, very nice. So they're going over there to be used regularly by me. And Dior brought out the reformulated lip glow oils, but introduced 2 new finishes. One was the sparkly finish and one was the glaze finish. And the glaze finish I fell in love with very quickly. This is the one that caught my attention when you look at the website because it's so pretty. This is a sparkly finish, but for me, I mean, I'll pop it on now actually. You don't really, sorry, that's Florrie. You don't really see the sparkle as much as I'd like. Obviously I'm using it here as a topper. I love the formula though, I love it. I love it, it just looks pretty. It's almost like I'm tempted to get it because it looks pretty, but you see how pretty and pigmented it looks in there, and it just doesn't translate to the lips. So I don't think it's worth it if that's what you're going for. If you're just going for a nice oil as a topper, happy days. Lovely sweet fragrance. I do love them, I love them, but I don't think it's worth it because I've already got a lot of those oils from Dior, and I don't think it's worth it. But let me show you this is the classic oil, this one here. So this is, that was Fizzy Pink, by the way. This one is Berry Juicy, and this is just the classic oil, which some people think isn't as good as the previous oil. I don't really see an awful lot of difference. I'll level with you. But again, you don't really see the colour of these. You might like the way they look in the packaging, which is beautiful, but they don't show up really. You're not going to see much. If you've got that bare lip with nothing on underneath, you just get the teeniest hint of colour. And really they're just toppers that give a nice bit of glow to the lips rather than sparkle. Not that the other one gives much sparkle. But the smash hit from them by a mile for me was the glaze finish. The glaze finish is really gorgeous. Now I've got more than just two. What have I done with them? I've been using them so much, they're probably on my desk. Oh, well, that's thoroughly annoying. I'm sure I've got another shade, but anyway, when I did my review, I showed you the glaze in Black Cherry. Did I just tell you that that one was called Black Cherry, the glow oil? It's Berry Juicy, the one you've just seen in the original glow oil. That was Berry Juicy, sorry. And Black Cherry is this one here. This glaze finish is my favourite out of the three by a mile, and I will buy happily more and more of these. Look at the pigment on that. The grip on it is so strong. It's thicker, it's grippier, it's pigmented, it looks gorgeous on the lips. I love them. I've done some shorts of these if you want to see me trying them on their own, but if you look at my spring collection review, you'll see me trying that one on. I went back and got Latte. I think maybe I haven't gone back for another colour and I was just confusing myself then, but it's because it's on my mind to try more. Maybe I'll wait and see if they release more shades for the summer actually. But yeah, this one's Latte. So that's Latte, and this one is the Black Cherry. But look at the pigment. Very complimentary as well on mature lips if you've got a lot of lines showing up, or on any lips for that matter that have lines showing through. So I absolutely love them. I'm trying to put these down very carefully so they don't all fall, because they're staying there for regular rotation use. All of these ones are actually. And another winner from Dior for me is this. Not as much as those, but I did like this. Certainly a nice one. And this, have I got it written down somewhere? The Dior Addict Lip Glow in Ultra Pink. So I got this because it matched the Ultra Pink shade that we got with the new stick blush. And this is one of these pH activated ones, but it does give a lovely pink finish. They often say that Dior products are pH activated like the blushes, but I find they're actually quite true to the colour. They don't particularly change, but I think this one is supposed to be. It's a beautiful pink, a very fresh spring pink, which does show up on the lips, and it does have the hydration. So this one is more like a classic original lip balm. These are very pretty, very, very pretty, and this colour is lovely. So, and I love the packaging. Matches really nicely with the perfume that they launched and with their the blushes as well. So yeah, I love it. And talking of ones I love, I told you Kiko come out with some smash hits, and they do. So if you don't want to go with Tom Ford prices, not that I'm comparing this lipstick to Tom Ford, but wow, did I love this. This has lips all over it. And this is the Flirt Alert Heartstopper Shiny Lipstick. This is one of the prettiest lipsticks I've tried all month. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. If you saw me trying this on, I'm trying to get as much as I can on my hand to really show you. Really, really pretty. Pretty good longevity as well. It doesn't vanish in a flash. So packaging, pretty, magnetic. Kiko. I'm telling you, it's worth checking Kiko out. Don't count them out because they're not high end. I've got another one from Dior here. Did I write this one down? I'm not sure if I did actually. I've got this from Dior, which I thought at the time, is it new or isn't it? And then I found out it was because this was with their, is it the New Year release? See, I can't even remember now. But anyway, look at the packaging with the clover on the top. And what number have I picked up? I have got, this is the Rouge Dior in number 806. Look at that, the embossing. These are all reds. I think there were 3 shades of reds. This is the one I went for. I'm not a big fan of reds, but because this is like coppery orangey red, it's quite suitable for me. Again, a colour I would wear for the summer. Lovely formula, lovely embossing. I just much prefer this to the Chanel one, for instance. They just have the edge for me at the moment, Dior. So that's not my favourite shade out of the ones I've shown you, but that's because those shades are not my favourites. I think this would be good in autumn actually, not just summer. But yeah, that was very pretty, and that was for the Chinese New Year? Anyway, it was one of the New Year launches. I was confused when it popped up as new. You know, on Dior you suddenly see something pop out with no explanation. Also, we had these from Valentino. I love their spike lipsticks. So I haven't written down the shades of these, so I will need my magnifying glass. I did get one that's relatively clear, so let me look one at a time what I've got. I've got number 670R. This is the one, is PH actually. It's pretty much clear. I just couldn't resist this for the fun factor. I knew this was just going to be a clear lip balm, but when I put it on the back of my hand now, you don't really see much at all. I'll leave it there and let it do its thing, and you'll see the pink come up. To be honest, this is more of a gimmick. The fact that it's blue to match the case. Do we need it? If you've got other PH ones, you really don't need it. I didn't need it. I'm an idiot. But I got it anyway. But the other one, I love the lipstick. These are matte lipsticks, but they're so creamy. 312R. I mean, look at this packaging. It's just stunning, and I'm so in for these blue colours that are coming out. I really am. So here is this shade. It's beautiful, and this formula is stunning. I love the small bullets. I love everything about the Valentino lip. Anyway, I said I'd show you the pH. Can you see how it's activating now? You can see. So it does work. Ignore that side. That's a bit of Dior left over. But yeah, it's starting to kick in now. So it does work. But I do think I'm silly for getting it. I'm not going to recommend that. What have I got left? Oh, Chantecaille. The Chantecaille lips. We're reaching the end of this. We're actually making it to the end of my January review, which feels like the biggest marathon ever. It really does. So we have 2 of the lipsticks from the Chantecaille, from the Flamingo collection. Let me look at what numbers they are, or what names rather. So we have Stella. I love these formulas as well. Again, very expensive, but you won't find a better lip formula actually. You really won't. And these are these sort of lip balm. They're very similar to the YSL alternative, which are similar, but I think these are nicer. I think these very shiny, very glossy, lots of pigment, lots of grip, reasonable longevity. Cases are beautiful. I do love Chantecaille, I really do. Just noticing it's got that sort of green colour inside. I don't know if they always do that, but that's pretty. Magnetic closure, and then we've got the Flamingo there. And the other one is number, where are you? I keep saying number. Name Jacaranda. I remember that name coming up in one of the Natasha Denona palettes. One of the shades was called Jacaranda, wasn't it? I wonder what the link is there. This is my favourite of the 2. Look at Jacaranda, isn't it gorgeous? Slightly cooler, warmer. Again, this one goes with the Dawn trio. This one goes with the Dusk. In my opinion, that's the way I would do it. Both of them gorgeous. Slightly different colours. So this is the cooler one. And again, we've got the Flamingo. So there we go. That is the end of the lip section. And don't worry, there isn't another section. There's just one item, which is one I'm so gutted about, and that is this rather fabulous mascara from Lancôme. This is the Lash Idole Curl Goddess, the prettiest, fanciest packaging in a mascara I've ever owned. I love it. It's so ergonomic. I love holding it. I love looking at it. This lifts my lashes better than any mascara I have ever tried. And for that reason, it's worth trying. I think it's worth trying, even though I get smudging, which is why I'm gutted. And I have actually stopped putting it on. I say it's worth trying, but is it when I've just said I've stopped putting it on? I thought it was worth it because I love the lift. But if I'm going anywhere, and I have been out and about so much lately, I cannot rely on it. And that's not just if it rains or if I've got moisture or humidity or I'm too hot. It smudges on me every time, whether I put a primer underneath, an eyelash primer for mascaras. I used the Lancome one, didn't work. I set with powder, I put a bit of powder on the lash after. I tried everything and it just smudges. And it doesn't smudge as badly as some, but on me it does. But it's worth noting that 9 out of 10 mascaras smudge on me. And unfortunately this is one of those 9 out of 10. If you're someone who isn't prone to smudging, try it because it's so good. It is so good. It really does lift, it really does curl. Here's the wand. I don't know if it's to do with the shape of the wand or if it's the formula, but my goodness, this curls and lengthens. It's so good. And I'm gutted. But there we are. So a sad or happy note, however you want to see it, to finish my January reviews. So I do hope that this has been helpful to you. It's been quite the month. I'm looking forward to hopefully a more quiet February where I can possibly revisit these products and enjoy them a bit. And just look at the odd few new releases, hopefully. A quiet month, please, makeup world. Let's slow down. It's gone a bit bonkers. But I do hope it's been helpful to you. I would love to hear, did you buy anything in January? Were you on a no buy and you want to skip? So maybe some of the items I've shown you are in your wish list. Are you going to save up for a sale or even wait for the Black Friday, which is a good option these days, isn't it? Certainly things like Chantecaille, they pop up in sales later on in the year, and I remember they were 33% off. That's the time to go for them, isn't it? And Tom Ford, even though it's not always the case, some of his palettes were on 50% off, I think, some of them. Very good offers anyway. Very good offers came up. So you don't have to rush out and spend these ridiculous amounts, and you can still get these luxury items in the sale. So is that what you're going to do? You're going to try your luck in the sales later in the year or when they pop up? Or have you already gone for them? Or are you just not interested? Whatever your thoughts are on everything I've shown you in this video, I would absolutely love to hear them. And if you have enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, I'd be over the moon if you did. But if you already are, you're at the end of another very long 2-part series of my monthly review. So I'm so grateful to you for being here. I truly am. And I really hope to see you all for the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.